Hey, it's Mr. Tottenham from the Health Classroom. You're about to witness a behind-the-scenes look at our podcast experience with the middle schoolers. We have two 7th grade understudies who will follow along with the 8th grade podcast hosts as they interview their peers about middle school life. Then, in the middle of and at the end of this episode, the 7th graders will give their own reflection on the topic of the day. This is meant to provide some insight into our recording process, but also it allows me to coach some future leaders. If you're looking for the polished version of this episode, that's an entirely different link altogether, and I'll include that in the video description here. For now, here's Meera and Ahana as they follow along with Sri and Samarth as they talk about mood and motivation in teenage life. I'll be back at the end to wrap some things up. Enjoy.
Hi, welcome back to the Life is the Future podcast. Today our topic is mood and motivation in the winter seasons. My name is Samarth and this is Shri, and these are our two people.
Hi, I'm Indira. Hi, I'm Meghna.
Alright, so before we start, what are your general thoughts about the topic?
Well, I feel like motivation is really hard to get after, a whole break and, you're really tired, sometimes lazy. I'm guilty of that. But I think, significantly, it's, very, very hard to regain, all that strength because, you really, really tire yourself out, especially, that's, final season and stuff like that, so.
Yeah, I think, part of, the weather as well, just, winter depression has just got me in a headlock, but I think, yeah, it's kind of, hard to, get out of, when you're in that, down circle, going deeper and deeper, into, a bad place. It's kind of, hard to, get out of it, but, I think with the right environment, you can, get out.
Good point.
Yeah, so we wanted to focus on that, after, seasonal depression. We want to focus, how can we and our viewers get our motivation and mood back up after these, depressing winter months.
Mm-hmm. I know, you guys said, there's a lot of, seasonal depression and, you really can't, get back. But I know, it starts for me in, September, the moment, school really starts, and then it ends in July. So I have, 1 month of, peak.
I think for me, the moment I see the sun, I'm yes, I'm happy again.
Yes.
That's for me, though.
Yeah, I feel it's really, psychological, I feel when you think about it, if you're, your mood compared to, on, a sunny day, you're in summer, you're hanging out with your friends, right? You feel more motivated to, hang out with your friends sometimes, I feel when, the sun is out, when it's summer, it's hot, versus, you're in winter and you're probably scrolling.
Yeah.
I feel you don't want to hang out with your friends as much. It's really...
Yeah, you need friends to hang out with them first, though. Just saying.
Is that your own, personal
experience?
Wow, that just got deep and
okay,
dark.
Okay. So much you want to add on to that?
you want to continue
for that?
Well, I feel my friend count has dropped from first grade. I don't know what else am I supposed to say.
Can we keep this happy? We want the motivate mood.
Well,
keep
I'm sorry. No, but in mood and motivation, there's also a downside. You
can't just talk about your trouble with social.
Okay, I don't think this is part of the podcast.
No, they need to know this. They need to know this. This is important.
Being honest.
Honesty is extremely important on this podcast. I should probably start with that, but it's extremely important, which is why I kind of brought that up. Because generally, I know, I've seen a lot of kids, their friends, really, make fun of them in some sort of way, but that kind of helps, gets them back. But that's never really happened to me, because it's just, people making fun of me, and it's not, gonna help at all. So that's why I said, it's September to July, and then August, it's just, I don't really talk to anyone except for, my phone and, kids through there. So, there's no, really face-to-face interaction during August, because it's just, prepping for school. And then, yeah, so that's kind of when I come back.
I have a point to add on to that. I feel social interaction in seasonal depression is so important.
Right.
Because, again, back to, the whole friends topic. No judgment. But like
We've all been
listen
there,
and we
don't
don't.
we?
yeah, real.
Keep going.
Okay. Well, basically, I feel like when like that motivation like really hits, it's like that's like your peak. Like I feel like when it's summer, I feel like I have like the courage or like the guts to ask like more friends. Like I will make more friends in summer rather than winter.
Yeah, because like the warm weather, it's like you want to use that time efficiently, but like it's like in the winter when like the sun's down, the clouds are everywhere, and it's like it just really looks like blue and dark, like desaturated.
Yeah.
You just like it doesn't matter what you do with that time because like that time doesn't really matter, so you just like end up doom scrolling.
And like I think like when I said like hold up, what did I say?
More friends in summer.
Before that.
I don't remember. Before that.
Okay, wait.
Before that, it's him not having.
No.
Yeah.
I have 1 point. You know?
Oh, like how it's extremely important.
That. I feel like also social interaction. If you don't have it for like a while, you're like, like I feel like it really just hits harder and harder and harder.
I
when
think
you
you're
don't
like
have
really
friends.
hitting home with him.
Why is this so targeted? Why is this so targeted?
I do have a question for you guys.
Die.
How do you think that like social media can like help in a positive way or like a negative way for motivation? And before you say anything, I'm gonna talk about my experience. So personally, there's like a lot of brain rot in this generation.
Oh my God.
And I think that it's low key, actually high key, really like motivational because if you think about it, like winter arc. Like, what do you, like, if, like, a bunch of people, like, all over the world, like, going on to, like, certain platforms, like TikTok or Instagram.
Which is banned.
No, TikTok.
Not yet, actually,
back.
Trump signed the 90-day thing.
Stop.
Wait.
He did?
Okay.
Stop.
Okay, so then I think that, like, it could help you because if, like, multiple people are, like, using that, then like it can just help through like peer pressure or like just like you go like through the herd, like you're just
Yeah, I think like social media like has been for a while just like really bringing people down a lot because like you see someone with like a huge thing is like over consumerism. With like people have, I keep seeing these like skincare routines where like people have like 7 drawers full of stuff.
Yeah.
Like no one needs a 2,000 pack of cotton pads. It's like the shelves are full. They have like 12 dupes of the same product, and like I think like I'm glad that other people are seeing this too, and they're like commenting things, making their own posts. Saying like let's stop normalizing stuff like this, and like on social media with all of this like people being super rich and successful and having all these big things that can bring you down, other people are still trying to like help put out like light into the world and saying like no matter what you see on the internet, just remember that you still have so much and like you can still do so much, like more realistic things that instead of just that like again no one needs 12 serums.
Okay, she's Meera and I'm Ahana, and we're reflecting on
something that Samar said. So I thought it was kind of interesting when Samar said that sometimes you need your friends to make fun of you to get back.
but sometimes you don't need that. Sometimes it can get excessive, and instead of bringing you back, it brings you down.
Ahana, have you ever had friends that you had to leave because they made fun of you in a not so fun way?
Not that can I remember. What about you?
No. But my friends sometimes make fun of me, but like in a good way. Like they make fun of me with me. You know?
Exactly. If they're making fun of you with you, and if they're laughing with you, not at you, that's good. If they're laughing at you, not with you, then that's not good.
Yeah, if they overstep, they always apologize like right after, like, oh, sorry.
Exactly. Like, oh, I should not have said that. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So, and then I also thought it was kind of adding to Samar's point, the first one that you made, that
You need to have friends.
yeah, I feel like that, like, added So
It made it funny.
yeah, humor.
It was nice.
It was a good break.
Yeah. It makes a podcast nice when somebody's like, if you add humor, it's nice because people are not exactly
Serious all the time.
Yeah, and it gets not boring.
So yeah, I guess that's our reflection.
Yeah.
I know like a lot of people. I do this too often as well, where like maybe you have like homework to do like after school, but like instead of doing that, you're on your like phone, and it's like let's say the time's like 3:38. You're like, okay, at 3:45 I'm gonna start working. You look back at the clock and it's 3:47, and you're like, okay, 4 o'clock I'll start working, and keep doing that, and then suddenly it's 8 o'clock and you haven't done anything yet.
Guilty as charged, y'all. I'm so guilty of this.
I think that also comes in different forms. Cause like me, I don't procrastinate by going on my phone. What I do is I have a Google Home like mini thing. So I set a timer for 15 minutes. 15 minutes. I just set it there, and then I'm like just like chilling on my bed, and then like I wake up and it's like 5 o'clock. I've been asleep for 2 hours, and I'm like, what in the world? Why am I this sleep deprived? And then my dad walks in like, how much homework did you get done? I'm like, nothing. I was asleep. It's like.
In like the contrary, I feel like social media, I feel like nowadays, more than a while ago, I feel like they really like promote a lot of like happy stories. Like there's this one story, but I'm not gonna drop any names or anything. But there's this one disabled kid, and he was a big gamer. Okay, and as a lot of people, like kids are. And
Guilty.
I mean,
Okay,
Con.
I play.
Shut up! I'm on the newer version.
Go on.
I'm on the newer version.
Not even that. I play horror games on Roblox.
Okay, go on.
Doors.
Mimics. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Back to the
Okay,
topic.
wait.
Back to the topic.
Back to that. But he like obviously like being disabled, like you don't make as many like it's really hard to make friends, right? Obviously. And so he really didn't have a lot of friends, but then when he got like gaming, right, his parents really didn't like monitor his gaming much, right? Like that was his source of enjoyment. And basically after that, what happened was he had passed away, and but like they posted because he was I don't know what the social media was, but and then his friends on his game had like told all of these great things about it, and like I feel like as back to the whole social interaction that we were talking about, how social media could hurt or help that. I feel like it goes really, really deep both ways. Like obviously there's cyberbullying, there's really deep topics like that, but there's also like things like this, and I feel like a lot of people like overlook like this is like also really controversial. But like sometimes parents view like Snapchat and stuff as like obviously like it's addictive, to be honest, right? But I feel like the promotion of these are so important, and so like if we weren't to have social media, so many of these stories, so many people who didn't feel included in like real life, they won't have any social interaction to any extent. And I feel like that's like the whole other side of social media that a lot of people don't talk about.
My parents really need to hear this, bro.
I completely agree with you, but like on the contrary, I just think that like especially for like young minds, when people like 11-year-olds, like you're not supposed to have like these platforms. People still do. Like I'm guilty of that. When I was 11, I had everything.
Really?
No, that's
I still
actually
don't have
You had a
Snapchat.
phone?
Yeah.
No, I used my dad's phone and then I downloaded it and I put it on it and then I hid it. Anyways, that's beside the point. I think that you could just see like really unrelatable things, like you said, like you don't need to be like having like 4,000 Lululemon tank tops. Like that's
Yes,
just not like manageable and relatable. Like when you see
Yeah, it's just
things,
so unrealistic.
it's so unrealistic, and just like that can completely kill your motivation because you could be like, oh well, I'm not like this, my body isn't like hers, I don't look like this, my hair isn't like this. And like personally, I don't even know, I'm going to like deep into like insecurities. Like my hair is whatever, and I see like all these girls, oh wow, they have such pretty hair, why can't I have that? And then it's just like, oh, why can't my parents buy me this? Why can't my parents buy me that? It's just like unrealistic. And I just think like young minds are really prone to like they're just like really impressionable. So like these
Yeah,
things
they're like
are just
their
like
brains are like sponges. They just
Mhm.
absorb everything.
absorb everything. So like these types of like unrealistic videos are just like really damaging.
I really see that because like I know it I don't really get those kind of videos, but like my sister does, and like she's like constantly sending me like Instagram reels of like, oh my god, look at this guy's hair, look at this guy's hair, look at that guy's hair. I'm like, bro, what am I supposed to do?
your hair look like that?
Yeah, no,
Change it.
she gets so pissed at me. Like I'm like, hello. Like she asked me to get curly cream, and like that was the first time I heard what that was. I was like, what is curly cream? And then she was like, oh, it's this thing that you put in your hair. I was like, oh my god. She cares more about my hair than I do, bro. Like I shampoo twice a week. That's kind of it. That's my entire hair job.
Wait, twice a week.
Do you use
conditioner?
conditioner?
Yeah, I
do.
Do you use conditioner?
What's conditioner?
Oh, okay, but it's because you just don't
Well,
have
that's like
much
a
hair.
little.
Not in a bald way. I'm just saying you don't have as much hair as us, so we have to take more care of it.
Thank God.
Okay, anyways. Wait, but like this is okay, wait, stop laughing because this is gonna get really deep. But like materialism, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, queen.
Yeah, slay.
But I feel like in contrast to what I said, but like materialistic like stuff is like really like getting more popular like by each like year, maybe day. That's what we call it. Like exactly like PR, like they like PR and stuff is like different. But like having like all of these like privileges which are really good, right? But like when you like it's kind of like you're like
Comparing.
Like brag.
I feel like not exactly bragging, but like when you're boasting them, not exactly bragging, because that's like harsh, but like
Yeah.
boasting them, like
Yeah.
you know, to like such a like very vulnerable audience, it's very damaging, and I feel like also that kind of contributes like to this whole mental health thing, like
For sure.
like that's like a whole thing. So, any thoughts?
Yeah, like that all like in general, just social media can like really just bring down your
Yeah,
mood.
in general.
Yeah, in general, just bring down your mood. But like, there's again like the good part of social media where
Yes.
like creators, I keep seeing more and more creators every day that'll make like wholesome, like simple content, or
Yes.
will like never changing since like they started, just giving what like people like to see.
Like funny skits or something.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that.
those are not
Or like
those are
more
comedy.
and like more like supportive content. Like I keep seeing like things that are bringing awareness to different things, or like just informative like content like randomly found, which I really appreciate, because like when you're doom scrolling, you're just seeing like anything, Fortnite clip, and then just Reddit story, and then
Oh my
just
gosh.
random baking. It's just randomness, and then you get like again like what you said, the brain rot, and then you get like something wholesome like that.
Oh my god.
And then you get like wholesome stuff like that, and that like can bring your mood up for a bit.
Yeah, and I feel like there's like so many sides to like winter depression in comparison to like decades. Like I feel like winter depression now versus like winter depression in probably the early 2000s. Oh my god. There's probably like this drastic difference.
The causes have definitely changed.
Oh my
since
god,
then.
yeah. Like I feel like back then, like, obviously social interaction, but like now you relate it to now, and like when you're when like an experience, like when I had a sleepover once, I don't think we talked that much. I think we maybe talked about like videos. Like that's how like boring it was.
Really?
And yeah, it was really annoying. Like maybe a movie was playing, but like half of us were on our phones. Like I was trying to watch the dang horror movie because it was a horror movie too, and I was like what do you want? Put you on the horror movie for then? If you're just on TikTok.
I
or
would
something.
experience that so much. Like there was like a huge period where I have friends that are a year older than me, and like they still got like phones like years
Yeah.
prior, and like I only got my phone like less than a year ago. I
Yeah.
think. Maybe like a year or two ago.
Yeah, same.
But like they got their phones when they were like 7 or 8. So I was just like, I would be over at their house and like they would be playing like some video, and I just have to sit and like wait for them, or I'd like go over to their house. They're just like on their phones for like 30 minutes a time. Then they like, I keep asking like, can we please do something? And like they would just be still like on TikTok.
They'd
or
be
whatever
like,
they're doing.
yeah.
Or they play like.
Oh, yeah.
They're like the only way they would play a game is if they're like those like game apps.
Heads up.
Right.
Yeah.
Heads up is fun though.
Yeah, it would be like those like apps where I know one of them was like it would collect photos or videos from your library and then you'd have to guess like whose it was.
Oh, I
yeah.
remember
Yeah,
that
that was
game.
like the only
That was
way
so
they
long
would be
ago.
able to play a game. Like they couldn't play a board game or anything. And I think like that's what's happening with like social media, just bringing out everyone's like, it's because we use our phones so much is now we're becoming reliable on it for entertainment, like in other forms as well, which like again brings down like your mood a lot.
I also think with like social media, like everybody's going through it right now. So like, you know when you like hear like a sad song, even when you're like smiling like 2 seconds ago, and then you're like because it's
Or
like
like
a
you
sad
listened
song,
to it when you were sad,
right?
And then
you
just brings up the
cry
memories.
even more. Like you just like seeing those sad videos or like videos about mental health can honestly like change the way you also think about yourself. Because again, like peer pressure. Because at one point, I feel like everyone was like, "Oh yeah, I feel like depressed," and they were like misusing the word depressed. And I feel like everyone felt like they had to be that way to like feel included.
Yeah.
At one point. So,
oh my god,
yeah.
I felt that firsthand. But
Not yet.
we have a little bit of time since we have a few minutes. In general, out of like the topics we discussed, what do you guys think was like the most like important on today's like generation, like for years?
We talked about social media the most, so like I'd say like
Definitely. social
always
media.
like every time we have these like podcast discussions, social media always comes into play.
Oh my god, yeah.
So like in everything, social media always has an impact on it, and that I'm not trying to say it's a bad thing, but like social media, people just share so much. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be oversharing, it could be like again informative content. But like with that, it's just becoming like more and more is getting on there, and that's how people are getting so much of what they learn nowadays.
Yeah.
It's just because like anybody can share anything without like barely any consequences. So like they just feel like they can.
People
do
just
whatever they
forget
want.
digital footprint.
Yeah, they just forget like all
Yeah.
those things. And it's also like if you're just like a regular person who isn't like a hacker or doesn't know much about technology in that way.
You're like supposed to like anonymous.
Right.
Yeah.
He's crazy though. I think also like related to social media, I know like this has come up multiple times, but I know like I went through something like right before winter break, and it was really hard to go through considering like it was just before winter break, and I tried. But then the moment like school ended, it kind of hit because like there was nothing for me to focus my mind on. And then so I tried, and then so I just started doing schooling for like 3 hours straight, and then like I ended like I'm pretty sure like I remember this clearly. Like I ended on a video and it was talking about a guy who went through exactly what I did, but how he handled it and how he's able to like. He's still like sad, but like he's able to move on, and I think that's the kind of stuff that should be more promoted,
Right.
Especially because like a lot of people go there for something, like maybe not necessarily like in my case, like they're like gone, but like they're trying something like that, like they're just trying to like cope, and I think that's like really really important.
I do think school can definitely help because when you're surrounded by like your friends or like people you actually like to be around, I think that they can like really help your mood. Like one time I just walked into like class annoyed, and the moment I saw my friend, I was like giddy and I was like jumping up and down. So yeah.
Yeah. So again, how social interaction.
Yeah. Okay. So to wrap it up. So for our final question, what do you guys recommend? What do you usually do that maybe the listeners today here can learn from you guys on how to like bring up their mood and motivation, especially after these winter months?
I'll say something. Just like really like don't let winter like really get to you. Like if you're looking outside and it's gloomy, like maybe like and to use social media as a positive way, like FaceTime your friend. Like don't like let all of that like really get to you. if you have homework, do it. Don't procrastinate.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just try to learn something new. Learn something that will keep you busy. Like not too busy because that's damaging. But yeah.
Going on that, I just think like you should do something that you like. Like for me, dancing and like singing
That
and
is
drawing,
helpful.
like that makes me happy.
Yeah.
So during the winter days, I like literally go like put my beats on and I'm just like
Exactly. I finished
Yeah.
my painting because I actually like did not look at my phone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
building,
like just like have do your passions.
yeah,
That's all
building
you want.
on that, like make sure like what you're spending your time like. I get it that like doom scrolling it gives you like the immediate like happiness, but like just remember that like even the longer tasks it'll have a positive outcome in the end.
Yeah.
So like spend your time doing something you love while also like making sure it's helping you in some way and not just like doing random things. Yeah.
And just a really quick note on that.
Yeah.
I feel like when you do something that you put a lot of effort into and you see a positive outcome in the end, it's
One of the best
so
feelings.
motivational.
One of the
It's
best
so much
feelings.
better than like just like that instant dopamine like rush
Yeah.
when you're like scrolling because you don't have any.
Yeah, because
effort
it just
into that.
goes away
It's just a
right after
finger.
the scroll.
But like when you like do something, you put effort into it and you like actually like think about it deeply, then that's where like your motivation can
Yeah,
be,
you have
and
like that
that's-
permanent product or the permanent
Yes.
memory of doing that rather than just like forgetting after that scroll.
Exactly.
Yeah, I really like this. This is really great stuff. I just think like we should probably wrap it up because I think this has been going for half an hour.
Okay.
So
Okay.
thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Again, this is Life is a Future podcast, and see you next time.
Bye.
Okay, we're done. We're done.
Why'd you start off talking about your friendships?
Some kid is gonna sympathize with you, bro. But
Yeah,
that's good.
Okay, so we're back.
What did you think about what they said about the brain rot and the doom scrolling?
I felt like that was entirely accurate because that's exactly what happens.
It gets dark and you're like, oh my god, I've done my homework. When in reality, you have not, and you're doom scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And then you realize you have homework.
Yes, and I thought what they said about like screen time tying back to mental health was accurate. My mom would also agree probably.
It gets depressing, and the thing they said about like sleepovers, I think Meghna said it, how sometimes sleepovers,
People are just on their phone.
exactly, oh, you're communicating through your scrolling. No, you're not. What's the point of it? You know
At
what I
least put it
mean?
on the TV. I mean, like, if you want to scroll so bad, just put it on the TV.
And if you want to, I mean, if you're having a sleepover, I feel like the point is to spend time with your friends, your family, whoever you're having.
Yeah, or talk.
Exactly. Don't scroll.
hmm And I also feel like what he said about there being like positive things about scrolling, I feel like that's true too. But there are also not so positive things.
Exactly. I've seen some incredibly motivational stories, but also some very
Sad.
downgrading and sad stories. What about you?
Yeah, I think more positive ones though.
Yeah.
And also what they said about people getting like PR and then like complaining about it, that's really annoying. Because you're literally getting free stuff from a company and
If you're getting free stuff and you wanna, and all they want you is to like post about it, why are you complaining?
yeah,
Exactly. But on top of that, but then there's the PR that goes a little too far.
and it's like, oh well, that's a lot. That's way too much.
Also, what were your thoughts on when they were saying about like people having a million Lululemon tank tops, for example? All of that stuff.
I completely agree. Even though I don't wear Lululemon right now, it's just most people. I feel like you can have like there's a certain amount when there are too many. Like if your whole closet is just Lululemon tank tops,
Exactly.
because those are kind of pricey. I mean, like
It's one thing to keep up with the trend, and then there's one thing to only be the trend, if you
Yeah.
know what I mean.
so. In conclusion, I think that this was a really good episode, and I also think that it was really accurate too.
Yeah.
Do you think that the doom scrolling part is accurate? Let us know down in the comments. Okay, do you have any more?
No, I think we're done.
So am I. Bye. Bye.
All right, there it is. Thanks to Meera and Ahana for providing us with their own opinions on mood and motivation in teenage life. The 7th graders are getting better and better at being in front of the camera and expressing themselves clearly. Just like our other 2 understudies of this school year, Dayan and Nico, the girls today certainly provided us with some value as viewers. Remember, if you want the polished version of this episode, that's an entirely different video link altogether, and I'll include that in the description below. If you think somebody else would benefit from what we do, please share away. It always helps us reach our intended viewers. All right, until next time, thanks so much for tuning in. Take care.